First we use a 7/16 inch open-end box-in wrench. You need to remove the Padlock nut first. And the regular nut on the backside. Then you take a hammer and gently wrap on the backside of it to loosen it up. And simply remove the carriage bolt. Now we can remove the roll pin that goes through the padlock handle using a 1/8 inch steel flat punch and hammer. Now we have to knock the roll pin through the shaft of the end of the padlock handle. Stick the roll pin punch through there and just knock it through. Just till it clears the shaft. Remove the punch. And we are good to go on that. Next, take a 3/4 inch box-in open-end wrench and remove the top and bottom carriage bolts. Note the orientation of the nylon washers and the steel washers. Make sure that the nylon washers go against the cams for both ends and then surrounded by a steel washer. At this point, you're now able to remove the locking bar by just simply sliding it off. Okay. At this point, you can finish up by taking the rest of the washers off. Then removing the regular nuts that mount onto the door and the top and bottom 1/2 inch carriage bolts. Still using a 3/4 inch open-end box-in ratchet or pressure wrench. And there's a metal washer between those nuts and the door. That's a metal washer. Now you want to take a 3/16 open-end box-in wrench, remove the nylon nuts and regular nuts that attach the padlock handle to the door. Okay, now we remove the nylon nuts and regular nuts on the back side of the padlock handle that attaches the padlock handle to the door using a 3/8 inch open-end box-in wrench. Remove those counterclockwise. First you start off with the nylons. Backs of the carriage bolts so you loosen them up, just so you can get them out. Now you're able to remove the padlock handle. At this point, we're able to put in our new padlock handle, locking bar system, and hardware. Make sure that you put it in through the front where you turn the handle where you can see all the mounting holes. Just insert the shaft through the hole. Okay, at this point, with your 3/16 inch carriage bolts, just put them in the top hole and the bottom hole and the hole to the left. Okay, then we go to the inside view. Okay, at this point we're basically reversing the same direction that we used to take it off. We're going to put the aluminum washers back over the carriage bolts on the inside. And use the regular nuts first. And put them all the way down. Then we take our 3/8 inch box-in open-end wrench. And we want to tighten them down, snug, not too tight. Then we want to put our nylon nuts over the top of those. Again, you just want to snug them down, but not too tight. Once they're snugged on, then you can install the top and bottom 1/2 inch carriage bolts. First, make sure to put your metal washer back over the back. You'll notice that there's two different size basic nuts. You want to use the smaller one first to go against the door. Repeat the same process for the bottom. Using your 3/4 inch box end opening or your crescent wrench, I'm going to tighten those down. You want to make these snug, but not too tight, just snug, to where they just basically stop. Then put your other wider nut on. Okay. Just snug those on. At this point, you're ready to take your locking bar assembly and attach it to the shaft of the back of the padlock handle and the top and bottom carrier bolts. Remember the orientation we talked about of the washers. So put the metal washers on first. Then the nylon washers. Okay. You want to make sure that the locking bar is oriented to the open inside of the door. So you take the cam that goes on the shaft of the padlock handle and just slide that shaft right through the square notch. Okay. And then just put the cam on the top and bottom half inch here. Okay. Then we take our nylon washers again, put that over that. Then we take our metal washers and put them on those. Then we take our 1/2 inch padlock nut and install it on the back end to the carriage. Take your 3/4 inch open end box end or your crescent wrench and tighten these down. Okay, at this point the locking bar is not going to move because they're too tight. You want to back them off. It's basically a 1/4 turn at a time until the locking bar is free. Locking bar feels free. Further adjustments may be needed. Okay, to finish up, we need to knock the roll pin through the shaft. That's the hole through the padlock handle. Take a hammer and just simply make sure that the roll pin is lined up with the hole. And just take a hammer and just knock that through. Then we have to just insert the 1/4 inch carriage bolt. And so acts as a stop for the locking bar. Just install that in through there. Have our metal washer. Our regular nut goes on first. Going back to using our 7/16 open and pressing wrench. Remember, again, like the others, just snug. Okay, and then we install the nylon nut just on the end. We want to thread on. Just about it's flush on the end of the carriage hole. Okay, looks good, and you're good to go. This installs the padlock handle, the locking bar assembly, and the top and bottom carriage bolts, so the door's complete.